to another episode of PixlFeed Radio, and I'm here with my friend Matthew Chase. Matt, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you been?
Been good. And Matt and I, we've actually known each other since freshman year in high school? It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. Too long to think about.
I know. So for those of you that don't know, Matt here, he's actually in the mortgage business, which right now with all this crazy housing market, everybody keeps hitting me up, asking me, it's like, how can I blow up my social media? How can I get more leads? How can I close more deals? So I was talking to Matt the other day. He's like, why don't we do like a Q&A where, you answer where I answer all the questions that people ask me all the time, because the reality of this, when it comes to social media marketing, even if you're not running ads, the answer is always going to be the same. And whether you're a real estate agent, a mortgage broker, a mechanic, an artist, whatever, the execution of your strategy is always going to be the same. We're taking advantage of every single algorithm that's out there, but you got to do it right. And the reality is, and I've said this before in this podcast, you real estate people are the worst marketers in the whole world, because all they do is, I saw the house. How does that benefit me? Like, okay, why do I care that you sold the house? It doesn't benefit me in any way. Great. You sold the house for somebody else. How does that benefit me? People don't care about you. They care about themselves. They care about their own results. So, there's no difference between you and the other 50 realtors in your area in a 10-mile radius that, sells a house and posts like, I sold a house. So same with mortgage brokers and loan officers. It's like, oh, I closed the deal. Get it? So let's take advantage of this.
I closed the deal the other day, man.
Good for you. Congratulations. So we're going to turn the tables, and for the audience out there, we didn't talk about this at all beforehand. So you're just going to ask questions as we met out in the street. And then I'm just going to answer every question you have, because it's pretty much, I know what pretty much 90% of them are going to be. And hopefully this can help anyone that's watching or listening in their line of business. If they're in the service business, whether you're a realtor, loan officer, car sales, I don't care, whatever you try to sell, you offer as a service, accountant or whatever. So let's get started. So what's the first question here? What are you trying to do?
So the first question is going to be more like a high-level question, because I always ask my realtors this, and I think a lot of them watch too much HGTV, and they think they can just, show 4 houses and make a few $1,000s and it's easy.
Yeah.
So do you think, I explained that there's a lot of sales involved, right? Like, you've got to be a salesperson to be a realtor, a lender, any of that. And my main partners are realtors, obviously. So I want to try and give them value, like you said, right? I want to add back value, which is what this video is all about.
Right.
Christian, do you think that anybody can be a salesperson? That's my first question.
Yes. With the right training, yes.
I feel the same way. I've always said, if you've got one friend, you've sold yourself to somebody, right?
Right.
So you could be a salesperson.
Right.
All right. So with that being said, if you were talking to a realtor today, and in this market, it's hard coming in as a new realtor or a lender, because it's just so quick. You got to be fast, you got to be knowledgeable, you got to have experience. But let's say you were coming in new. What would be your first word of advice from a social media perspective for a realtor coming new into the market? What should the first thing they do be? Would it be set up a business page, set up a personal page if they don't have Facebook? What would you say? Instagram, like, what is their main platform you would utilize?
Okay. So there's tons of platforms out there. It is, what is it, August 2021? Yeah, August 2021. Mm-hmm. So right now, the platform where you want to be, because it has the most organic reach, is TikTok. And before anybody jumps in the comments and it's like, oh, TikTok is for kids or whatever, guess what the biggest demographic growing and surpassing 20-year-olds is on TikTok? 30-year-olds, 35-year-olds, 40-year-olds. It's actually, they just released a study where their demographics are going, to the older generation like ourselves, right? So guess what? We have money to spend because we're old millennials who started our careers a long time ago. So you're going to find a lot of us on TikTok, but obviously we're on Facebook as well and Instagram as well. The reason why I bring up TikTok right now in August 2021 is because TikTok has the biggest outreach out there organically, right? It's like every other platform. It's like when Facebook came out, when Instagram came out, not everybody was on the platform. So organic reach was huge. As the platform grows and the older generation moves over to the newer platform, your organic reach is going to go down. So if you go like on TikTok, you see all these TikTokers complaining. It's like, oh, TikTok is shadow banning me. They're not showing my videos like on purpose and blah, 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 blah. It's not that they're not showing it on purpose. It's the older demographics are moving to the new platform. Therefore, your organic reach goes down. So now you got to work 3 times as hard to reach the same people, and algorithms change. And, if you don't keep up with the changes on each platform of how the algorithm changes, you're not going to be able to break through. You're not going to give the signals that the algorithm needs to be like, hey, let me push what Matt has here to the rest of his people. So ideally you want to be on TikTok, but I get it. Not everybody wants to be on TikTok on video, making, 5 videos a day, trying to keep up with the trends and all that. So a lot of people like Facebook. A lot of people like Instagram. Well, if you're going to go, you got to choose the platform that you feel the most comfortable with. What is the platform that's best for you? For example, I love talking. So I do this podcast. I have, you're watching this on YouTube. I have my YouTube channel where I explain everything that I do. That I know I could write a blog and get the same type of results, or probably even better, because SEO, I can type it out and switch the keywords around and stuff like that. But guess what? I hate writing. Am I good at copywriting? Absolutely. I've been studying it for a decade now. But I don't like sitting in front of a computer, opening a blank page and trying to write something. It takes me hours. If you put a camera in front of me, and you know me since high school, I was that nerd in front of the cameras. Like, you say roll and talk about X, and I can talk all day like I'm doing right now. I don't have to think about it. I don't have that, oh my God, what am I going to write about? It's like, what is Facebook ads? Well, Facebook is a platform. I can just go on all day. That's where I feel most comfortable with. Right. I love TikTok as a user. I love it. I should be making five videos a day on TikTok. But guess what? 1, I don't have the time. And 2, I don't have the patience. I just don't. I don't have the creativity or the patience with it, because to be successful on TikTok, you got to keep up with the trends. And you got to, follow those trends.
So Christian, if I don't have a TikTok, and I've been hearing a lot of people say that I should get a TikTok,
yes,
but it irks me. Like, that's all my daughter did for so long that I've learned to grow to hate TikTok.
Yeah, but don't. You got to see it. You got to see it. You can look at these social media platforms from you can't be on them as a consumer, right? The first thing that you need to do, and I'm guilty of this because I don't do it, but my feed is pretty filtered by stuff that I want to see that's important to me. Right. Like, I deleted a bunch of people, hit their feeds, deleted them, whatever. I snooze people all the time for 30 days because I don't care about your politics. I don't care about your religion. I just want to see work. And the few close to me that I like, picture here, picture there. But I don't open my feed to everything because it's distracting. And next thing you know, I'm wasting half of my day on Facebook, and I work in Facebook all day. So I can't get away from it. I can't just close it. Okay. But the first rule of thumb that you need to do is set up your basic pages. So you're going to set up your Facebook page because you want your name everywhere. And guess what? You don't need a website right away. And if you do want a website, go to Fiverr and pay somebody $100 to create a simple website for you on Wix or something, just to get you started. And that's it. Because I'm going to break the news to you. No one's going to see your website. No one. Absolutely no one. Unless you're doing SEO, tons of content, and a bunch of backlinks, no one's going to see your website organically. So your website is there just in case you want to give it to someone and they can see you as legit. But you know how many years I did business as an agency without a website? 4 to 5 years. I never had a website for the agency. Never once someone asked me for a website.
That makes sense.
Hold on. This is why. Because I had a Facebook page, Instagram page, which I don't even use. And now I have the YouTube channel. My YouTube channel it's social proof. Like, oh, do you know what you're doing? Go to my YouTube channel. There's 200 videos in there. You make up your mind after that. And I can be cocky about it because I know, that I have social proof with that. But you got to choose the platform that you feel most comfortable with, and don't try to do all of them because it's impossible. Unless you have a team behind you, I'm telling you that right now, you're not going to be able to do it along with everything else that you do. So you triple down in one that you're good at. If you go to all my social media platforms, I haven't put my team or hire a team just to do social content for me because I don't need it right now. Someday I might scale, and then I'll be like, go to my YouTube channel and chop every video and like grab the best parts of it. And then, stop filling everything out with content, LinkedIn, and triple down on the one you feel comfortable with and forget about the other ones. Just create a page just to have it, just in case, but that's it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about posting 5 times a day. Pick one and stick to the one that you feel most comfortable with.
Okay. So I don't feel as bad for not having a TikTok because I just mostly use Facebook, but
No,
I use
don't.
it, and I'm a lot like you. I've deleted a lot of people. I block people. I don't even hide people's feed. I try not to be distracted. Like when I first started my business page and in the mortgage business, I went through and deleted all my old pictures and stuff that were just inappropriate. Anything that wasn't professional, I got rid of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, I want people to see who I am, not who I was. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Absolutely. So
Um,
yeah. So rule number one: pick the platform that you want to double down on, that you feel comfortable with.
okay. Now, once they've got a platform created, once that realtor goes out and they create the platform, what about ads? How valuable are Facebook ads? How difficult are they to create? I know I've tried creating some in the past and it gives me all kinds of loops. I feel like I get stuck in a death loop where I can't get it to post how important is that, and what's the easiest way to do that?
First of all, you need to create an organic following first. Okay. Facebook ads are not easy. If they were as easy as people make it out to be, I wouldn't have an agency. Facebook does a very good job of saying, hey, boost this post and you're going to be a trillionaire. No, all boosting does is boost your puts your post to an engagement audience of people who are most likely to comment or like and share, and that's it. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't take care of a call to action unless you make it. So ads are designed to add fuel to the fire. Okay. And the way you add fuel to the fire is when you already have an organic base underneath. Because if you don't have an organic base and you don't know what you're doing with ads, it's going to be a very, very expensive mistake. I mean, you guys don't want to know how many thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars I spent before I hit, like the jackpot, I guess you could call it, when I was learning. It takes a lot of money to get it right, and you need the right strategy. Like for mortgage people and realtors, you got to build a funnel, you got to build an email list, you got to put systems and processes in place to nurture those leads to automatically reach out to them. Because everybody thinks that if you put it out there, they're gonna pick up the phone. It's like, oh, let me call Matt right away. No, that doesn't work. So we'll get to ads in a minute, but let's stick to how the platforms work. So what's your next question besides ads?
Okay. So when it comes to building that pipeline, right? You're basically, if I'm hearing you correctly, nothing will ever replace the phone. Pick up the phone, make your calls, prospect. You have to continue doing that. You can't rely on Facebook to be your end all be all. If I create an ad and blast it out, I'll get business.
I disagree with that, but yeah, part of sales is cold calling. But again, if you know what you're doing with Facebook ads, you wouldn't need to pick up the phone. They'll come to you. But that's at a later point when you're deploying ads. And I'll walk you through a step-by-step strategy at the end of this. That I have no problem with that. But I want you to get in your head what it takes to be successful first without the ads. Okay. So the first thing that you need to do is figure out who are you going after? So now I'm asking you, let's say you're the realtor. Who are you going after?
Well, in this market, I think as much as it hurts me to say from a lender standpoint, most of them are trying to target listings, people selling their homes.
Okay.
Because the buyer market right now it's tough. It's not easy. People are getting multiple bids. They're offering over ask, and a lot of buyers are getting discouraged. Not to say they're not buying houses, but the listing side is easy. You get a listing, you can have that house sold and under contract in a couple of days. So
okay.
How would you approach that?
So without social media, how do you find those people? How do you get those people?
Right now, realtors that aren't using social media, in my experience, are basically just going door to door and handing out flyers. They're walking in neighborhoods, they're canvassing neighborhoods, they're handing out flyers that say, hey, want to know how much your house is worth? Give me a call. Or, hey, I sold the house down the street from you for X amount. Give me a call if you want to know how much yours is worth. Okay. And that's what they're doing when they're not doing social media.
And what do you think happens with that flyer when it gets to my house?
Well, I think 99% of them get thrown in the trash, if not 99.9.
Right. And your flyer just says the same thing. That, again, back to the realtors, like, I sold a house, I sold a house, I sold a house. Great. Anybody can sell a house in this market. Mm-hmm. How much did those flyers cost to get made?
I think it varies. So me as from the lender, the realtor partners I partner with, I create the ads for them, and we have them already pre-made from my from Novus. They provide it through our marketing material. Yeah. But to print them and such, I guess it all depends. You got the computer ink, you've got the time that it takes sitting there waiting. If you go to Staples, you're going to pay an arm and a leg. If you got a printer at home, it's probably a little less, but your quality may not be as good. So, it's definitely not cheap.
Okay. So the first thing that you need to do, and this is how we can add fuel to the fire, is, for example, now you're going to pick your platform. So what is it going to be? Facebook? Let's say
Yeah.
it's Facebook. Most realtors are going to go with Facebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, this works on any platform. It's, you just got to know how they work. Okay. So what are you doing now on Facebook to find your audience and to retain your audience and to engage with your audience?
What am I doing?
Yes.
I'm doing things like this. I'm doing a lot of videos, trying to get back into that again. I try and post funny stuff just to get people to watch me. You know what I mean? Like stuff that's, tasteful. You know what I mean? Not like dirty or stuff like that. Right. Tasteful things that are comical. Mm-hmm. Positive stuff. I'll throw some of that up there occasionally, but I try and keep it more just like not business. You know what I mean? I might put one business thing up, like if something changes where it makes processes easier. Like if I see from a lending standpoint, they lower the percentage required for student loans from 1% to 0.5% for debt to income. I'll put that up and say, hey, here's something new that could help out your buyers get pre-approved. Give me a shout if you have questions. But aside from that, it's mostly just light stuff. You know what I mean?
So now you're confusing the algorithm. Okay. Yeah, because you're doing one post about business and the rest is just, you said comment, like funny stuff. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
So, and by the way, I'm talking about business pages. I mean, or your own profile, if you make it public. Actually, I just thought about that. But so now you're confusing the algorithm, because if you put a post out there, when you say comical or comedy, what are you talking about, comical or comedy? And don't lie to me.
Just a meme or something that I see that's funny. Usually real estate related.
That has nothing to do with work most of the time, 99% of the time, right?
I don't see how I put much on Facebook in a while. That's my first fault,
Okay.
But when I do, it's 50-50. I'd say sometimes it's just a regular meme and sometimes it's something that has to do with real estate. You know what I mean?
Remember what I told you about not being a consumer and just using it as a tool?
Mm-hmm.
You got to separate yourself from Facebook, your profile on Facebook, to Matt or whoever's listening to this. It's two different people. If you have to create a business page and a personal page, go for it and use your personal stuff for your personal stuff. And the business page is for that business page. Because I've seen some business pages where realtors and mortgage brokers, they use them as their personal page as well. Like pictures of them going out to dinner or whatever. Like no one cares. No one cares. No one cares. People only care about themselves. They don't care about you. Get that through your head. They don't know you. They don't know you, so they don't care about you. You don't have the relationship. So it's not like, oh, I'm out having champagne and I got a promotion to that. You know what I mean? No one cares. They care about themselves. So what you need to do, go ahead.
So yeah, that's another good question. So I've got my personal page, right? And I've got my business page, right? And my business page is all business. I don't do anything personal on that.
Right.
But with my business page, especially when I first got it up and running, of course, there was 0 people that liked, followed any of my page, So I went through and invited all my friends, you know what I mean? And that gave me a little bit of a following. But then I got the same people following my business page that were following my personal page. So anytime I get a new buyer or a new realtor, I obviously send them my page and tell them to follow it, give it a like. But how do you suggest getting your following up higher on your business page? Because it feels like it's out there on Lonely Island. You know what I mean?
Content. Like consistent content. So this is the part that people don't educate themselves about. You got to learn how the algorithms work, what they're doing, what they're pushing. Okay. Facebook hasn't changed in like a decade. So I'm going to tell you how Facebook works now. Facebook, it's all about the user experience and engagement. And it learns from that engagement. And based on those signals that go back to Facebook based on your age, demographic, male, female, your type of job, whatever, and the type of content you engage with, Facebook knows that. They keep track of that. And then they'll find more people that might like your content. So if you're talking about real estate, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm looking for a house, Facebook knows that. They know that. Okay. And if you post something and it gets engagement right away, guess what? Your post goes to the top of the feed. If it doesn't get any engagement right away, it gets buried down to less than 1% of the people that follow you. So no one's going to see it. Because you're not competing only against your friends. You're competing against your friends, publications, ads, all that stuff. So this is why it's something we say in e-commerce, riches are in the niches, meaning the further down you niche down, the more successful you're going to be. So here's the next mistake. You're a realtor, you're a mortgage broker. Oh, I'll take any deal that comes my way. Somebody who's doing a house for $150,000 to somebody who does a $3 million house. Well, guess what? Do you think the person that owns a $3 million house is the same as the person who owns a $150 home? No, they have probably absolutely nothing in common besides like a TV show or something, right? So Facebook knows how much money these people make on my right, and they know how much money these people make on the left. The content that somebody with a $3 million house is going to consume is different from the content that somebody who owns a $150,000 home. Okay. And I'm not being like, like talking bad or whatever because they make less.
Right.
It's just two completely different demographics. Yep. I know for a fact people who make $3 million, have a $3 million home, they don't watch 10 hours of Netflix. They read a lot of books like I do. A lot of books. Most of our time it's working and books. So the content that grabs my attention, it's not going to be the same as the content that would grab the attention of somebody who owns a $150,000 home. So now you got to create what's called a customer avatar, right? So being a local business, you got to look at the neighborhoods that you're going after, the type of consumer you're going after, okay? And see what's common between those people. What kind of car do they drive? Where are those houses at? Where are those neighborhoods at? What stores are around that area where people shop the most at? What are their credit cards? You can find all this information just by doing a simple Google search. You can find out, what are the top credit cards on that zip code, right? I can tell you right now, it's American Express, right? So you put the dots together. So it's going to be Joe and Susan, who are between 45 to 65, make $300,000 a year each. They both drive a Mercedes and a BMW, and this is their main home and live in Orlando, right? Well, they probably go to the country club. So they like that kind of stuff, right? So now you got to think, okay, how can I create content that appeals to those people, right? So what do? Well, you're a real estate agent. You have access to any house, right? And an MLS. You can pull up a house in the MLS and you have a little app that says, use this code to open the lock. Well, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go find like a badass house that's for sale, listen, and give them a tour. And guess what? They're going to watch the video if you target those people, right?
Yeah.
If they're looking for a house, oh, that might be a good house. And then you put your info on a call to action. But you have to be consistent with your content. And it's about showing value, okay? So Gary Vaynerchuk has a great book. I read this when it came out years and years and years ago, and I still live this to this day. So I got to give him credit. It's called jab, 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 right hook. And basically what it is, the definition of jab, 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 right hook, it's like boxing. It's like you jab, you jab, you jab, and you hook, meaning you give value 3 times in a row, and the 4th one, you ask for the sale, right? So now they're following to learn from you. What do you think my YouTube channel is? It's people learning from me. You think the people that are my clients, they want to do the ads themselves? No. They go, Christian knows his shit. And they just send me an email. It's like, we want you to take over our accounts. It does the work for me. I don't have to show them that I know my shit because I already did that. Okay. So, and I'm consistent. I post 3, well, now it's like 2, but between 2 to 3 videos a week on my YouTube channel. Right. So it's consistency, man. I don't post on Facebook. I don't post on Instagram. I don't post on Twitter. I do, but most of my stuff comes all from here. So, but I'm constantly talking about what I know. I talk about digital media in general because I know all of it. But the one that I triple down on is Facebook ads, which is I'm a true expert in, right? So I can talk about it all day. So you have to post in one day. You have to try to post 5 times a day to break through the algorithm. You really do. So what you need to do, you need to sit down, and most people are not going to do this, and they're lazy, and they're not going to do it. This is why they're not successful. You grab a calendar, right? There's many tools out there that are digital, that are free, and you got to plan out your content for the month, right? And let's say you run out of stuff to talk about. You run out of houses to do a video tour of. I'm not a realtor. I can tell you right now, top 10 tips to have your house ready to sell, and just walk through a house or list it, what they need to do. Top 10 tips to not get screwed over. Go to YouTube and type how to sell A, and then you're going to see a bunch of options. That's what people are searching for. So answer those questions in a video or a post with a picture. Right?
So once I've got a following, you've kind of touched on that, the algorithm piece when it comes to my business page, for example, right?
Yeah.
How do I get the people to follow my business page to where that algorithm will even show up, that post will even show up on theirs? Aside from what I've already been doing, inviting my friends, if I get
because your page is public. So if the post gets engagement, it's going to suggest it to other people on their feeds.
Okay, so that was my question. So even though my business page is public, it will still, it's going to suggest it to other people even if they're not liking it.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if it gets a lot of engagement, that post that's getting tons of engagement will be, I'm sure you've seen it on your feed. It'll be like suggested post, and it's going to be your post. And that's how you grow your following. All right. That's how you do it. But you have to be consistent. You have to show the algorithm you're consistent. There's another thing that people don't know. You can use hashtags on Facebook now. Yep. So you can use up to 30 hashtags per post. So what I like to do is, I post it on the first comment, or I put ... so it doesn't look spammy. It's hitting under the see more. And then people can search those hashtags, and the algorithm knows what the post is about. Because the algorithm, this is any algorithm, it reads the picture, it scans the picture and says like house worth X amount of money, possibly male, possibly a realtor. The algorithm knows that. The videos, it listens to it. It scans the whole video, knows every single product that shows in that video. So it's very powerful.
Crazy.
Yeah. So that's Facebook. You can actually go to business.facebook.com and you can read about the algorithm changes every quarter. You'll get it. Facebook just released an update of what they're showing off the most. So you can be like, if you keep up with this, you can be like, okay, Facebook is pushing for this. Mark Zuckerberg went public the other day and said, we're pushing Reels. We want to compete against TikTok. So we want to push Reels. What does that mean? Well, I'll put Reels all day long because I know they're going to get 100 times more reach than a single picture, because that's why they want.
Now, how do you do a Reel on Facebook?
You don't do Reels on Facebook. It's just, that's Instagram. But Instagram's owned by Facebook, so that's how I know that.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the strategy is the same in both of them. They have a similar algorithm, so it's the same strategy. I just know that, Instagram's pushing Reels. Okay. So you got to learn what the algorithms want to push, what's working. And this is all public information. Sign up, go to facebook.business.facebook.com, sign up for the newsletter. They'll do webinars and teach you how to do all this stuff, but people won't watch it. I'm talking about the organic stuff, even ads. Yeah. But I mean, trust me, it takes years to master ads, especially now with iOS 14. But they'll give you updates on the actual platforms and what's working best. So you stay on top of it and you can create the best content ever.
Yeah, ads are frustrating. I'm not going to lie. I've tried them and I get like halfway through. I'm like, I'm done with this shit. Yeah. I can't. I'm throwing my papers in the air if I had any. I'm like, I'm done. I give up.
Yeah.
And they're not cheap either. I mean, they can be, but
Yeah, they're not cheap anymore. So you got to really know what you're doing.
Yeah. I don't want to screw it up and do something that's like,
No. And to do lead generation, there's a whole strategy behind it. You got to know how to target people. You got to know who your customer avatar is. And for example, I'll tell you right now, I mean, you're going to spend a good between $4,000 to $5,000 to get real results, like real results because you got to remember, the algorithm has to learn what you're looking for and the type of person you're looking for. Now, you're going to get leads. You're going to get tons of leads if you build the right lead magnet, but it doesn't mean that all those leads are going to be good. So, and you got to know what type of funnel you got to build. So for those of you that are listening, don't know what a sales funnel, it's called a lead magnet, not a sales funnel, a lead magnet. And what a lead magnet is looking to sell your house or whatever, you place the ad, and then you send them to this page, which the whole point of the page is to get their information. So the way that I like to build them, and pay attention if you want to do this yourself, because this is the secret sauce right here of how to get leads for real estate and mortgages. So you create your ad with the offer. So the structure of the ad copy is going to be hook, bait, hook, pain, solution to their pain, social proof, benefits, call to action. Benefits, social proof, call to action. That's the structure of copywriting for the ad, right? Because people care about the benefits. Once they click over to the ad, you're going to send them to your lead magnet. And what the lead magnet is, you can use a platform like ClickFunnels. I have a link in the description for free trial somewhere in there. And they have pre-made ones for you too, that you can just go in there and literally edit it in 5 minutes. So what you do in there, you ask for their name, email, phone number to unlock the content that you're going to offer, right? So once they give you that information, it takes them to a second page, right? And the second page is going to be what we call a video sales letter. And this is where you're going to record yourself and you're going to pitch. You're going to pitch the audience of whatever it is that you have to offer, whether you're a mortgage broker whether you're a realtor, whatever it is, your service. You're going to pitch your service. And this video needs to be anywhere from, 1 minute to 20 minutes max. I tested this a million times. All right. The longer it is, but to the point and with a good structure, if it's engaging, they'll watch the whole thing. After, always underneath the video, you're going to have a button with a call to action to move to the next step, to answer a few questions. Once they click that button, you're going to have a survey. This is where you want to get rid of the tire kickers. You want to ask how much they make. Are they pre-approved? Whatever questions you ask in your business to get rid of the tire kickers so you don't waste your time. Then after they submit that information, they get taken to a thank you page, right? And if you really want to take this to the next level, when they get taken to the thank you page, you're going to receive that lead depending on what platform you use. I recommend ActiveCampaign with a combination with Zapier, where you get it in real time to your phone. You can create the whole system so you get it on your phone right away. And there's actually apps out there that Lead Owl, I think it's one that will send it straight to your phone. And you can create a follow-up system that text messages them until the day of the appointment with you or the phone call, or you can just follow up with them right away if you're on top of the leads. And that's how you do it. And then you can have a nurture backend email sequence that offers even more value to keep them engaged so they come and show up for the calendar appointment.
So, man, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's why I get paid the big bucks.
Or they can call you and you can do it for them, right?
Well, you wouldn't do that if you close at $3.5 million home. What's the commission on that?
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, I would for sure.
So give me a dollar, I give you four. But it's going to take about 3 months. You're going to do that? Will you do it for me?
I mean, it's definitely worth it for sure. I mean, I think that the thing is people are afraid of what they don't know. You know what I mean? And to get knowledge on something that they just aren't familiar with. Like I said, I tried doing an ad and wanted to throw my computer out the window after the first couple of minutes. But it becomes
as a local service with organic and boosting your post, I can teach you how to boost your post so you don't have to run ads. You ready for that? I'll give you the secret sauce for that too. Okay. So remember how I told you got to create 3 to 5 posts a day. Mm-hmm. So do that for me at least for 1 month. 1 month. Okay. Even if you don't do 3 to 5 a day, just post videos for 1 month. I want you to get used to it, even if it's 1 a day. Okay. But I want you to do something. I want you to structure your videos. Okay. So video number 1 is going to be you going into what you do, right? Like an introduction, right? Walking through a house. Just do a pitch about the house. Like this house, blah, 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 blah. And, I love real estate because, the feeling that I get when people get their dream home, blah, 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 blah. My name is Christian Lovrecich, real estate agent, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And boom, end the video right there, right? Then the next video is going to be like, what's my mission? Like, now you know who I am, right? But I can set up a sequence with boosted posts so you can see if you watch the first video, it's going to show you this video. So this video is me going into why I do what I do. So, how do I do? No, why I do what I do is the first one. How I do what I do is the second one. So how do I do it? What's my process, right? So you talk about the process. When customers contact me and they're looking for a home, the first thing that I do is go look at the area, look at the demographics, the best schools, blah, 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 and explain that. And all you need is 30 seconds. This doesn't need to be, 5 minutes or anything like that, right? So you explain your process of how you find the perfect dream home for these people. And then at the end, once again, my name is Christian Lovrecich, real estate agent for Lauderdale, Florida. Boom, end the video right there. Then the third video is the results, Just so-and-so, if you can get a client, even better. But just close this house for so-and-so, we made their dreams come true, blah, blah, blah. I'm so happy and excited for them and do a demo, walkthrough of the home and show the family being happy talking to us. Like, oh my God, Christian was awesome, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end, hey, Christian Lovrecich for Lauderdale, Florida, real estate agent, or whatever, you figure out how you want to say that. And then the fourth video is straight up pitch. Looking for a house? Click the button below or call me right now, the number below, or let me know in the comments or send me a message. If you're looking for your dream home and you want to get the same home as this X, I will make that happen for you. Make it happen today. And then when you go under the boost option inside your business page, you can create what's called a custom audience of each video on your page. And then just do the sequence. If they watch video number 1, I want the ad to show them video number 2. If they watch video number 2, I want to show the ad for number 3. If they watch number 3, I want you to show video number 4. And you create a sequence, right? And once you create the sequence, now you're telling a story with 4 videos, and now they already know you. You introduce them, you introduce yourself to them, you explain your process to them, you show them the results with social proof, and 4, you told them where to find you. You run those videos for $1 each a day and never touch them again, which is the price of a Starbucks cup of coffee. You tell me that's not worth it to try to get a deal for $3.5 million?
That's actually really good.
It might take 6 months before you get a deal out of it. But aren't you willing to invest in yourself for $5 a day for a year? I mean, think about it. And you set it at a 5-mile radius in Windermere or whatever. Like, what's the most loaded, neighborhood in Orlando? I don't even know. I don't remember.
Yeah, you got College Park, you got Windermere.
Okay, so set it so it covers College Park and surrounding areas where the most money's at. And that's it. You just do that. And guess what? That ad's going to run on Facebook. It's going to run on Instagram. If you choose the audience network, it'll show randomly in articles throughout the web, even Fox News, CNN, whatever. So they'll be like, this guy's legit. He's everywhere. They're following me everywhere. Like, it's called frequency. They'll see it over and over and over and over again. And guess what? We should sell. Oh man, we need to sell a house. We should call Matt, because they've seen Matt on their feed like literally 10 times a day, and you won't go away until they go away. And guess what? If they make you go away, they were never going to buy from you anyway.
Yep. That's true. So what's better, do you think? Is Facebook Live better, or would you like pre-record a video and then put it on Facebook? What do you?
I will always go live and do it if I can, because it gives you more reach right away. Facebook pushes live over everything. So if you can go live and get people to engage, it's even better. So for example, when you go live on Facebook, the first thing out of your mouth should be like, hey, what's going on, everybody? Give me a hashtag live. If you're watching live, give me a hashtag replay. If you're watching the replay, I want to know who's here. Well, that does 2 things. If you're live, people are going to respond, and that brings your engagement up, which Facebook likes. So now they're knocking your live to the top of the feed because it's getting engagement. And if they're watching the replay, guess what? Most people are going to put hashtag replay because they just do it, man. Don't ask me why. And then it's going to kick up the engagement on the video, and it's going to bring it up to the top of the feed as a replay.
That's crazy, man. How did you learn all this stuff?
Been doing it for so long, man. It's just
lots of mistakes along the way, I assume, right?
Oh, and money. Both. Absolutely. Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Well, I mean, do you have any other information, insightful stuff you could put out there that might value realtors, might benefit them?
Yeah. The other thing that people don't take advantage of is because they say email's dead. You should have an email list. I don't care if you build it manually. The money's on the list. I talk about it on this channel all the time. I talk about it on this podcast all the time, especially for e-commerce. I use the example all the time that imagine if you have 100,000 people on your email list and only 20% open the email, that's a decent open rate. It's not horrible. It's good. It's decent. But let's say only 20% of those 100,000 people open that email, right? And let's say you say, hey, buy this product from me for $97. And only 1% out of those 20% take action on that link and buy that product for you for $97. You just made $20,000 on an email. So why don't you do an email? If I'm a realtor, I will have an email list that I email at least once a week. Every single past client, every new lead that comes in from anywhere, I will use a service like Active Campaign. It's my favorite. I'll put the link in the description as well. There's a free trial for it that I have because of my channel. And you can create sequences, automated sequences, and you can it's super easy to set up. It's like, this is people who bought from me, and then you create an email sequence for those people that bought from you, and you touch base with them, or you can send out campaigns manually. Send an email a week, just showing value. These are leads that came from, I don't know, networking events, and then you add them to a list and you email them whatever you want to email them. Then you can create another segment, which is people who previously purchased in the past. Then you can email them whatever, or you can just have one huge list where you just email. You don't have to overcomplicate it. That's what I do for a living, so I get super complicated. But starting out, just one list. Every lead you can put in there, whether they bought from you, you sold their house, you helped them buy their house, or they're just a regular lead, put them in your email list. And yes, people are going to subscribe, but guess what? The ones that subscribe, we're never going to buy from you anyway, so it doesn't matter. And the one thing you want to look at on the email, make sure you have a 20% open rate. If you don't have a 20% open rate, that means your quality of content is not good enough. So at that point, you got to work on your content to make it better and more engaging.
Yeah, make sure your spelling is accurate. Your grammar.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd be surprised, right? You'd be surprised.
Yeah. I've seen it myself. So yeah.
It's awesome. Want to buy a house? H-O-U-S.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, hey, I really appreciate you bringing me on today. I know you're busy.
I hope that's for everybody that's listening out there and watching this. I hope it makes sense. I know I'm talking very fast and flying through it, but you can actually find all this stuff in my channel. I talk about it all the time. So there's videos that show you step by step how to do this. So
yeah, Christian, he's a good friend of mine. He's very knowledgeable in this field, guys. So I mean, if he tells you to do something, don't be like me. Actually do it. Like, don't sit back here and be like, yeah, man, that's a great idea. No, I'm gonna go back to watching Netflix.
Yeah, don't go back to watching Netflix. So I mean, does that answer? Does it make sense? Does it answer all
your
questions?
No, it really does, man. I think it was pretty clear. I mean, there were some things that I think there's some question on, but that's good because it leaves a hanger. And it gives people a reason to reach out. So
yeah, if anything, forget all the advanced stuff that I talked about, but just create that content on your page, man, and make sure it's directed at that perfect customer. Don't please everybody. Go after the exact type of customer that you want. And I'm telling you, man, it's going to be a grind. You probably won't see shit for the first 6 months, but at one point you're going to see the algorithm just kick in and you're going to be like, wow, like it's crazy.
I really like the suggestion you had about, realtors going out to houses that aren't even their listings because they don't need to be a listing. You know what I mean?
No one knows.
Right. And you can even call the listing agent and say, hey, I'm going to go do a video of your house real quick and post it on my Facebook. That listing agent isn't going to be mad. They'll be like, okay, you want to help me sell my house? Perfect. Go do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nobody's going to be mad at you for trying to help them sell a house as their listing, especially one at that price.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good idea and unique strategy. I like that.
Yep. That's it, man. That's the secret sauce right there. So, I mean, if you want to have a better idea, I highly suggest you guys get the Jab, Right Hook by Gary Vee. It would really explain it really in depth. I mean, not like the tricks for each platform, but the idea behind it.
So, yeah, I've got a book I think that might be the one that's in my cart for Amazon. Let me see, because I had some in my cart. One was from Gary Vee, and I can't remember what it was called. I'm going to look at it now, see if you've read it yet. Let me see.
I read all of them. So
you've read all of them from Gary Vee?
Yeah.
Which one is it? Crushing It or Crush It.
Yeah, don't go to Crush It. Read Jab for this stuff. Read Jab, Right Hook. Trust me. I'll put the link in the description too.
All right, cool.
All right, Matt, where can people find you, man? Whether real estate agents or mortgage broker, what? I don't know. Whoever needs a house, I guess.
Yeah, so I've got my website's pretty easy. It's just M like Matthew, C like Chase, Fundings, and there's an S at the end, so it's mcfundings.com. That's my website, which has all my contact info. They can also give me a shout, 407-399-9966. And I give them my email, but it's way too long, so just call me or text me, and I can text you my email address.
Oh, man. I don't know why you would get your email.
It's a corporate thing. They're all...
Guys, if you're looking for a mortgage for your home or real estate agents, you need help getting a mortgage done, contact Matt. He's been doing this for years. He's done the mortgages in my house, and it's doing the next one, which he's been helping me for a year now because I want something pretty gnarly. So it's not. But anyways, all links in the description to whoever's listening, and contact Matt if you need a mortgage or real estate agents. And Matt, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. And hey, if anybody out there is looking to buy or sell a house, reach out to me as well. I have realtors that I know that are partners of mine that I can refer them to a good realtor in their area. So,
all right, cool, man. Thank you so much. Talk to you later.
No problem. Take care, man. Thanks.